noodles in there. What's he doing? That's so good. Hey everybody, it's Brinda. I am content director at Food 52, and I'm super excited to be back for another episode of Brinda Cooks the Books. This month I will be cooking from My Shanghai by Betty Liu. Because I'm a little bit, tired of cooking, as many people are, and just want a lot of simple food very quickly, I'm going to be making these extremely delicious scallion oil noodles, which are as tasty as they sound. Betty Liu, who wrote this book, is a surgical resident and a cookbook author and a superwoman, and she also has roots in Shanghai. A lot of her family is from there. So she wanted to create a book that showcased the seasonality and really fresh, kind of subtle flavors of cooking from Shanghai. And so she made this book, and it is such a gorgeous one. You'll find anything from the really wintry, deep, thick braises to light and fresh and kind of zingy noodles like the ones that we're going to be making today. For this recipe, we actually don't need a lot of ingredients, just a small handful, but all of them are really purposeful and bring a lot to the table. So we'll just need some scallions, a few seasoning sauces like regular soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and black vinegar, some sugar, some white pepper, and some Shanghai-style noodles. And that is pretty much it. What we're gonna do though that makes this recipe really, really special is cook each of the ingredients or treat each of the ingredients to bring out its best qualities. And so we're gonna actually start by making a really deeply flavored, long cooked scallion oil that you will want to drizzle over just about everything. So I'm just gonna cut about, I think I have 8 scallions here, 6 to 8 is what Betty recommends. And I'm just gonna cut them into about 2-inch big pieces. You don't want them to be too small, otherwise they're gonna burn when we put them in the oil and give them a long time to steep. To bring out their scallion-y qualities, Betty has us smashing these with the side of a knife, and not only will this sort of expand them and let them have more surface area so that they can fry in oil and perfume it even more, I think that it makes for better texture in the final dish. So she recommends doing this with a meat cleaver. I don't have one of those, being a vegetarian, but I guess I could use it for cauliflower or whatever. But I'm just gonna do it this way and hope that, hope that it is okay by Betty. Also, dogs can't eat this. My scallions are a little bit old, but yours might be a bit newer, and they release a bit of water. So you'll want to take a tea towel or a paper towel, whatever you have on hand, and just kind of grab all of the scallions and pat them dry, squeeze them a little bit, because we're gonna put them in a bunch of oil right now, and when you put something with water or juices in the oil, you're gonna splatter it, or it's gonna splatter everywhere and not be nice for anybody. So just take the extra step to dry them pretty well, and it'll be worth it for sure. So you should have these kind of little flat scallion pieces. I am going to start the scallion oil, and what you'll need for that is some oil. I have avocado oil here, but you can use any neutral one like grapeseed or canola or anything vegetable, anything you have on hand. And I'm going to heat this wok to medium low, which is hard to tell on this lovely stove of mine. But basically you don't want it to get too hot because otherwise the scallions will burn, and that is not very tasty. So let the wok get, mildly hot, and then we're gonna put in about 3 tablespoons of the oil. This is also, that's probably being a little bit generous, but oh well. Because we're cooking it for about 20 to 30 minutes, it's, sometimes easier to make in batches and use on just about everything. So I'm gonna let this heat for just a second, and then maybe I'm just gonna I'm kind of feeling impatient right now. I'm just gonna put in our scallions. And you don't want them to sizzle, you don't want them to splatter, you just want them to very slowly cook and infuse the oil with their oniony flavor. So I'm just gonna stir this very slightly. And we're gonna cook this for about 20 to 30 minutes, stirring every so often, and just really letting the scallions wilt. Check on it every 5 or 10 minutes and just stir it around, make sure that it's not getting too dark in some spots. Gosh, that oil is very fragrant. I am going to put the sauce together for our noodles in the meantime while the scallions continue to fry. It is a very simple sauce. You only need 3 or 4 ingredients, and it just provides so much depth of flavor, a lot of tartness, a lot of sweetness, a lot of tanginess that complement the oniony sweetness of the scallions super well. So we are going to be using, first I'm going to get about a tablespoon of sugar. Let me check if that's, yes, tablespoon. Just regular old white sugar. If you have rock sugar, you can use that. That is what Betty recommends here, but regular sugar works just fine. And I think it's 1 tablespoon of this dark soy sauce. See how unbelievably, I'm just gonna pour a little bit more in so you can see how unbelievably thick and concentrated that is. It is so good. And just 2 tablespoons of, it's not very easy to do one-handed, of regular soy sauce or light soy sauce. I'm using tamari because that's what I have, but really probably yes, definitely Chinese soy sauce is preferable, the light soy sauce. So see the thinness of this texture in comparison to the dark soy sauce? It's really remarkable. Then I am gonna put just a half teaspoon of black vinegar, which is made from glutinous rice, and it is also very tangy, a little bit sweet, and really, really fermenty and flavorful, while still being a bit mild. So it's perfect for this sauce. So I'm just gonna use my tiny little measuring spoon and mix it up. And Mr. Mosley is obviously checking out what we're doing here. It's been about 10 to 15 minutes, and our scallions have changed colors completely. They are no longer a bright green, and they're kind of this chartreuse. I don't even know why I use that color, but that's what they are. And they are completely collapsed. Everything smells really good, so I think we're gonna call that done and get moving on the rest of our dish. So the rest of this moves very, very quickly, so make sure that you have all of your stuff together before you get started. My water has come to a boil. I'm just gonna ignore that for right now. Instead, I'm gonna put this sugar, vinegar, soy sauce mixture into the, I'm tipping it the wrong way, right? Into the wok, and then we're gonna turn this heat up and let it foam and get thick for about 2 to 3 minutes. I have these Shanghai-style wheat noodles, like I said, but any thick-ish noodle could work. So an udon could work, a somen could work, really any sort of wheat noodle that you like. So this is a whole pound, but we are only gonna need about half for this recipe because it serves 2. And get this in here for literally just 1 to 2 minutes. You can see that this is getting really foamy and thick, which is exactly what we want. We're just stirring it around to make sure that the sugar dissolves. So our sauce is just about done. Our noodles are just about done. I'm gonna turn off the heat real fast and transfer the noodles into the sauce. I need a little bit of white pepper first. Okay, that looks good. So I'm just gonna transfer this with some tongs over here. Get that all good to go. I'm gonna stir together the sauce and the noodles off the heat. Let every noodle get super coated in our really tasty, fragrant scallion oil. All right, so it is time to serve it up and eat. So I'm gonna get a good amount of these noodles in there, and some of our delicious scallion bits, and maybe I'll take a little spoon of this oil in there. Okay, well, not quite deep enough, but at least I tried. And that's it. I'm gonna grab some of the noodles, some of the really sweet, jammy scallions, and take a bite. That's so good. The sweetness of the soy sauce and caramelized sugar match so perfectly with the sort of fragrant, oniony qualities of the scallions, and it mixes so well together with that slight floral nature of the white pepper. This dish is the epitome of why simple food is so tasty and vastly underrated. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Brinda Cooks the Books. I am really excited to have cooked from Betty Lou's amazing book, My Shanghai, which I absolutely recommend that you pick up. Do it now. It's out already. And if you like this video, if you like me, if you like all the other videos that Food 52 has to offer, please click like and subscribe, and you will be notified anytime a new episode appears. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you because I want to enjoy the rest of these noodles, but have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next month.